Hey, what is up you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you all how to make this type of shirt using craft foam and 3D puff font. And actually this was a design that I purchased from Lala's Embroidery. I will link that down below, but it is a 3D puff design, and I'm going to be using some black craft foam that I got from Hobby Lobby. Now, whenever you're doing 3D puff embroidery, it is recommended that you use embroidery 3D puff foam, but I found this at Hobby Lobby and it seems to work great. Now, I will go ahead and put this disclaimer out there. I have not done a wash and dry, so these items that I'm making are going to be for personal use only. So I do recommend testing this out before offering it to your customers, because you want to make sure that it's something that's going to be durable and also that it's going to actually not have any issues after washing. So this is the foam that I use. It's great. It was purchased from Hobby Lobby. Now this one was $6.49, and something that I realized when I was buying these, when it comes to Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure what's up with their pricing, but I had two of the exact same items, but one of them was priced higher. So whenever you're shopping at Hobby Lobby, you do want to be cautious of that and make sure you're not paying more for something that you could get for less. So always pay attention to those prices, because Hobby Lobby has those sneaky pricing. So we're just going to get right on into it. I'm going to show you all how I created this look. And I'm also wearing a sweatshirt as well with the same design. And I do want to also put this out there that whenever you're doing any type of embroidery on a t-shirt, especially with this thicker design, you do want to make sure you have a heavier weighted shirt or a sweatshirt. And for this, I'm going to be using Comfort Colors. I also bought this from Hobby Lobby. The Comfort Color tees. Jiffy Shirts also has them, and there are so many other websites that have them for a little bit cheaper than Hobby Lobby, but for convenience we just go right to Hobby Lobby and picked up this. So if you would like to see how this is done, just keep on watching. Okay, now let's get started with this design. So the first thing that you want to do, of course, is hoop your shirt, and I'm going to be using the Comfort Color shirt like I mentioned in a previous clip. So you're going to just go ahead and take your cutaway stabilizer. Now when you're doing any type of garment that you're going to wear, it is highly recommended that you use cutaway stabilizer, and the stabilizer that I'm going to be using was purchased from Hobby Lobby as well. So we'll go ahead and get right on into it, to hooping this shirt. Cut a piece of stabilizer. And now for stabilizer, I do also recommend some better alternatives to buying it from Hobby Lobby, because Hobby Lobby, as you can see, gives you this big bulk size, and a lot of it gets wasted because I'm not going to use it with my hoop that I'm using because it's too much. So we have to cut it down to size. So I recommend getting some stabilizer that's going to fit your hoop perfectly without being too short. That way you're not just wasting stabilizer. And then I just like to place it on the shirt to make sure I have the right placement before spraying my adhesive. And we're going to put it about right there because it is a bigger piece of stabilizer, so it should still cover it. My hoop's going to cover it either way, so we're just going to spray it on the back of it. And you don't need a whole lot, you just need enough to hold your stabilizer in place. And that I do that so that the stabilizer is going to be positioned properly on the shirt. Also, if you have the Mighty hoops like I have, the magnetic Mighty hoops, they also have the backing holders that allows you to hoop your stabilizer. But since I don't have those, I just use the basing adhesive. And I am going to be using my 8x13 Mighty hoop that I purchased from Melco. I do have a Melco embroidery machine, which is why I purchased all of my Mighty hoops from Melco.com. But also the Mighty hoop has their own website where you can purchase from. And if you're using the Milko or whatever machine, you do want to be sure to have the presser foot raised so that it's not scraping along your foam. And I've already raised mine. So I'm just going to place it down. And before you stitch any design, you want to do the trace method, so it'll trace out where the design is going to stitch, which I've already done that step. And then you also want to make sure you have the right thread colors and everything selected, which I have also already done. And if you want a more in-depth tutorial with using a Milko specifically, I can do that. Just leave a comment down below and I'll do a video on that. But I know that everybody doesn't have a Milko, so your process may be a little bit different depending on what type of embroidery machine that you have. So we're just going to place our foam down. And then also another important thing is you want to slow your machine down. So I'm going to put mine at about an 800 to stitch out. Because you don't want it stitching too fast because that could cause issues. And now we're going to start sewing. And if you notice, like, I do kind of hold the foam just a little bit, but you do want to be careful with that because you don't want to get your finger snagged. But I just like to hold it in place so it can stitch out that first tack down, and then you can let it go. Okay, so now we have to cut the jump stitches and rip away the foam so that the year can sew out. As you can see on mine, it has the year, but I don't want that to be a puff design, so I'm going to rip away this foam and then sew out the year. Okay, in the last step, you want to take a lighter or a heat gun and just lightly go over your glitters, and that just allows any pieces of the foam that are sticking out to shrink down. You want to be careful not to burn your garment, so you just want to keep the lighter or the heat gun moving so that it doesn't burn the garment. And that is how you use craft foam to make a 3D puff embroidery design. Alright, you guys, that is it for this video. I thank you all for tuning in. Go ahead and leave a comment down below on what projects you all are working on for Mother's Day. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you all in my next upload. Bye.